let's start with Maven brakes, since everyone loves to talk about brakes, and it's so funny. I do like it. I like to talk about brakes too, but it is funny how opinionated people can get, and you can talk to two different people, and they can have their opinions can be so different that it almost doesn't make sense. Like, wait, how do you think the same? I don't even know how to describe the.
It's one of the rare opportunities for people's opinions on physical reality to be drastically different to the point where it's almost like they're experiencing different physics. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, I know that sounds like a grandiose statement, but it feels that way. Where you're like, I don't understand how you feel the things you're feeling, but if it works, it works.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone has different braking styles, and that's kind of what it is. I think it's not like shifting's pretty binary. You know, shifting either there is smooth and amazing or not smooth and amazing. You could kind of like, there's only a certain number of ways you can shift. But with braking, you know, some people are brake draggers. Like myself, I kind of drag brake a little bit more than having an on-off type thing. And other people maybe have really bad braking habits where they're just doing weird things. Because there's no real, as long as it's working for you, there's not a right way. I mean, what's this say? Ryan Pinkerton brakes with his middle finger still. And he's one of the fastest riders in the world. So there's kind of like there's a big range of what people want. Even the amount of power people want and all that is very different. So with the Maven,
also something you need to like, sort of react to. Like your brain has to turn on and you have to physically do other things with your body, with your hands to make your bike stop. So it's a really reactionary thing. It's not just like you said, Mike, with drivetrains, you're not just pushing on the pedals and going. It's like there's a lot more to sort of ingest and understand how your body reacts to that, both in mind and physical sense. So I could see why people have their quarrels over brakes.
Yeah, terrain too. Like sometimes if you live somewhere, say Colorado Springs, or it's like kind of like kitty litter, you know, loose over hardpack, some brakes there probably feel horrible because they're going to make you skid too easily. Or somewhere like, you know, we live here in the Pacific Northwest.
But ironically, the brakes that might be the most challenging there are the ones made by people who live there. And
yeah, exactly.
I think that's like the segue to the Mavens. But
the Mavens and so to get back to where we started from on this, there's a new B1 Maven. So basically it's kind of a hop-up kit. You'll also be able to buy complete brakes, but basically what they did is they detuned it in a certain extent. They made the lever action feel lighter, and they put smaller pistons in the caliber in order to make it just feel overall better was their goal. Right.
Well, they're aiming at a lighter feel with similar power. You know, like if you look at the graphs, if you believe their data, it achieves a similar point, but I would say that like how it does it is different. Like it's a mechanical advantage at the lever versus hydraulic power in the system, I think is the difference. But the I mean, the feel is great. Like they're light. They feel like motives. They feel like a Hope kind of. It's not as light as something like the Hayes Dominion, but they are very light. I still love the A1s. Like the original Mavens are great for me. I really don't have any issues with those. Like I understand that some people who have delicate little fingers still don't like the way that they feel, but I don't know. I think they're more powerful than the B1s.
Yeah, watch out. These people are going to come after you. You can't say they have delicate fingers. Like chasing you with their fingers.
Like, I have the manliest fingers. My doctor said I have crazy fingers. It's a problem, actually. Keep shattering glass bottles when I open them.
I mean, these are quite tunable as well, right? Like,
I think what SRAM's doing is smart, where they're not like deleting any part of the product line. That like, here's everything. Now you can choose and like build the thing that works for you.
I do think it's confusing for the consumer is the tricky part.
Tremendously.
Because if you know, we're knee deep in it and just trying to keep track in your head of this and this, and that's the hard thing. And I think that especially if people haven't gotten a chance to try them all like we have, like in your mind, Dario, in my mind, and in your mind, Matt, you know, we know how they feel because we've experienced different ones, but someone goes in the shop and the shop dude's like, hey, you need the B1s with the A1 and then C2 and the ultimate gold base bronze. It's kind of a lot. I mean,
I glossed over the press release when these first came in and I was like, oh, hey, Mike, do these have new carbon levers? And he's like, yeah, it's a whole new brake. And I was like, oh, yeah, right, it is. So like it eluded me for a second. And the name is, I figured why not, if you're going to make like a brake with slightly less power, or just achievable in a different way, like why not go Maven SL or Maven Light or something like it? B1, A1's not that intuitive, or,
It's the same with their forks though. Like they've always done this with, like there were generations of like the Pike, for instance, where it's like, oh, like some people really like the B1 Pike, some people really like the C1 Pike, and keeping that in your head is an effort. And then there's like the suffix, like point whatever. It's like, I understand it
replace it
from like a file hierarchy perspective, but from for a brand that's like, their marketing is like as cohesive and polished as possible, it's like a weird omission in that.
I feel like some stuff could stay in the file hierarchy, like internal. Like they could call them A1, B1, C1 internally, but externally, like you were saying, Matt. Yeah, if you called it Maven All Mountain or Maven whatever you want, something like that.
I think part of it is though that they want you to. They want people to not think of them as like the strong and the less strong version.
Yeah, but they are though. Like that's the whole thing. Like it is, if you go and ride them, one feels a little bit less strong than the other one, and you can still obviously use any on any. Like I rode that new Mondraker downhill bike with the new Maven B1s, and it worked. But I would prefer A1s in that case, because I do, like you, Dario. For the bigger bikes, I like the more kind of, you call it binary, like that more on-off feel of the A1 versus the B1. So for downhill bikes, I would go A1, and then for like more trail, all mountainy things, I like the B1. But it's just, even just saying that sounds silly to me. So and I know it's not. It is supposed to be similar power, but different ways of getting there. But I think on the trail, it's pretty obvious that one feels different than the other.
So OG Maven A1, those are more progressive. So you have like more.
It's a quicker ramp up.
Quicker ramp up, but also harder to pull off the start.
Initially, but it's not bad, but it is a little harder. And those do have bigger pistons on the Maven A1. So eventually we'll get around to testing this is so silly. Like people that are listening, I hope you're still listening. I know it's complicated and very silly. We're trying to kind of illustrate how it is silly, but also useful, because you can make your brakes feel good, amazing.
But it's going to just have some learning to it. But that's fine. Like, my curiosity is how this shakes out for OE stuff. Like, for a given brand, like how do they choose which to spec? I would assume most brands will spec the new ones, the B series brakes, just because they're easier for most people to use. Like that is, I mentioned it in the article, and I think that's kind of the big takeaway here is like for the majority of users, the B brakes are going to be better insofar as it's easier to use them. Like,
like they have a good, for general riding.
It'll be harder to like stab the front brake and wash your front out because you overclocked or whatever, So I don't know. It's a thing. It's I'm definitely going to do some mix and match playing, if not today, then soon. But
I think when the kit comes, because neither you or I haven't had a chance to try the new lever kit with the old calipers, which might be the best of both worlds type thing. Like that'll give you the bigger, bigger pistons, but then that lighter lever feel, which could be the solution for most people. But
we'll see.
If you've made it this far, let us know in the comments what you're liking, what you wish. If there's
what's your favorite letter between
would you like A, B, or C or G? It is a funny thing, but I think it's going to be just so confusing, but it'll sort itself out in a few months. We won't even think about it. But for right now, I think there probably are some people scratching their heads wondering what to do if they need to buy the new thing. I will say that the levers look cool on the silver model, even though they're obviously not silver, they're black, because why would you make a silver brake silver? But
I might do some lye dipping on mine to make them silver. But we'll
but they have a kind of nicely machined lever, and it looks good.
They are sweet looking.
It's pretty cool.
And then refer to the article. Like I did my best to lay out like what's compatible with what and what tuning options will get you. So like, I hope that is a useful reference, but we'll see.
Well, to throw a wrench in all this stuff, and also to humble brag, a couple of weeks ago, I was riding with Miriam Nicole in Queenstown. I was down there for the launch of all this stuff, and she runs she runs Motives on her downhill bike.
What?
Yeah, she's running Motives. She just runs, 200, 220 rotors, and I was like, well, that's how you go fast. It's like, for me, motives are a good XC brake, but I wouldn't use them for anything. If a bike has more than like 130 mils of travel, I don't want motives on it because they don't slow me down enough. But one of the fastest riders in the world is totally happy with motives on her downhill bike. So I was like, that's cool.
When you mentioned that to me, I'm like, I've been thinking about it, and is it track dependent? Does she do that universally? Or
it sounded like universally. I didn't dig in too deep, but I was like, that's cool. So
I would love to hear why.
Yeah, me too.
In all my experience, it's like an underpowered brake doesn't make you go faster. It makes
you're
you
grabbing harder and harder.
So you just end up riding the brakes more in places you don't want, and you get less traction turning and stopping. But
I mean, she's like, relatively light, and I'm sure has like perfect technique, but that is still wild to me. Like,
I mean, she goes real fast.
Anecdotally, like another new thing this week, that Levo R has motives on it, and with a 200 mil HS2, like they are a powerful brake, like they're fine, but by no means are they like competitive with the Maven or with like a TRP or a Hope or whatever, like anything that a World Cup person would be running. So cool.
Different strokes
I
for
do
different
love
folks
that just because I don't want downhill to become a thing where like everyone's running more or less the same kit. It's cool when there's like someone who has a weird setup because it works for them. Exciting.
We will move on, I promise, but quickly, do you think that people miss the point with SRAM coming out with the Maven originally and like not using any of the tuning options with different pads and rotor sizes, and people being scared to go to like 180 rotors?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I also think that there was QC issues in the initial batch too, because like the first review set that we had, I had a couple that just didn't feel great, and then since then they've all felt a lot better. And I think there were some early ones that had some more like stiction in the lever, and it could kind of feel like it felt more grabby, and more likely you're just getting that sudden lockup. Where the last, they've been out for 2 years now, which is kind of crazy. So I'd say for the last year, almost all the bikes that have come with them, I haven't had any issues. I haven't really even thought much about tuning. Where initially I was trying different pad compounds and different rotor sizes.
Yeah, but you were puzzling quite a bit.
Yeah, because it was hard for me to adapt to the braking style. It was just so grabby, especially on flatter trails. I was like, this is too much. I don't need this. And being a lighter rider too.
But it's telling. I mean, if you go back, as I did, like for writing this article, like I went back to the original review I published of the Mavens, and I still ride that original set that I have. Like I've bled them once and otherwise have done nothing to them, and they feel great. But if you read your thoughts, Mike, it's clear that like you weren't getting along with them that well. And now we, like in hindsight, we're like, oh, okay, there were some QC things that made that inconsistent, but we thought it was just like preferential difference between the two of us.
And there still is some lever difference. Like if you grab the new versus the old and grab the levers, like there is a difference in feel. But
for sure,
I think there's a bit of a learning curve too.